Both of these teams have designs on a playoff berth, but they will have to take the 3 points on offer here at One Oak Field this afternoon. FC Tulsa haven't won at home since July. Hartford Athletic have only won twice away this season. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into One Oak Field. My name is Dave Saunders, joined by former professional Anna Burgle. And Anna, this afternoon, this game here at One Oak Field could be quite entertaining.
It really could. Both teams on the outside looking in right now from a playoff perspective and wanting to control what they can control. They might need some help from other teams around the league, but both with sights on the 3 points today.
Now, talk about a stalwart at FC Tulsa in the back line, and that is one Bradley Bourgeois.
And Bradley Bourgeois, the defender, he's played nearly 12,000 minutes for the club, 140 games played. He's a local, went to Tulsa University just down the road, plays with a ton of energy and passion for the club, Dave, and just one of those really legendary players for the franchise.
A legendary player in the back line. How about this young man up front for FC Tulsa, Aaron Beboot?
and Aaron Beboot came in and immediately made a splash for FC Tulsa. Mid-season acquisition is Mario Sanchez, head coach for FC Tulsa, just trying to bring some energy to this front line, and Aaron Beboot has absolutely done that. He's scored some outstanding goals this season, has had a few up for nomination for Goal of the Week, and he's one that this afternoon FC Tulsa will look to make a difference in the final third.
They certainly will, as you say. He scores fantastic goals. He scored 4 in an FC Tulsa shirt, and he will be vital for the cause for FC Tulsa this afternoon. It is set up beautifully for this game. We will be back for this must-win game for both sides after the break with your first half call and, of course, those important lineups. It is FC Tulsa versus Hartford Athletic.
I couldn't lay down, I couldn't stand up.
My shoulder blade and the muscles between the shoulder blades.
Bent over, couldn't stand up straight.
The pain just got progressively worse.
Turns out that I had scoliosis.
When I walked into Tulsa Spine and Rehab for the first time, I definitely felt very welcomed.
Dr. Riley, I just made an automatic connection.
He's going to take care of you and your needs and get you going.
I walked out of here and I didn't have a crick in my neck anymore.
There is truly here the desire to help people get better.
The experience to adapt, learn, and grow defines Williams. We've delivered natural gas to power change for over a century. Now we're investing in next-gen technologies to move toward a low-carbon future. We can reduce emissions and meet rising energy demands because experience powers us.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
FC Tulsa versus Hartford Athletic. This game brought to you by Bill Knight of Bardisville. By Williams, we make clean energy happen. By Osage Casino Hotel, your place to play. And by OSU Medicine, FC Tulsa's official sports medicine partner. As we take you to the FC Tulsa lineup, brought to you by Guerra Signs. And Anna, we've already mentioned the two of them, Beboot and Bourgeois, but a pretty standard lineup, although there is a start for Sebastian Sanchez in the central midfield.
Yeah, you mentioned Tweak in the midfield, but Bradley Bourgeois, who we mentioned captain for FC Tulsa, played nearly 12,000 minutes for the club. Owen Dom getting a bit higher on the field. Beboot 4 goals on the season, so they'll look to him to be the catalyst for that attack.
As for the visitors, Hartford Athletic, there's a welcome back to FC Tulsa's home field in the shape of Marcus Epps, a thoroughly nice young man, and waved up at us and did pretty well for FC Tulsa as well.
He did. Fans will be familiar with him. A couple players to look out for Hartford, Hairston and Barrera in the midfield. Both got the nod for Team of the Week. Barrera had a great game against North Carolina in their thrilling 4-3 victory, 2 goals, 1 assist in that game. So this will be a fun matchup today, Dave, as both teams, as we've mentioned, on the outside looking in, but continuing that playoff hunt.
And a very strong bench as well, we should say, for Hartford Athletic, as we look at the OSU Medicine injury report. None for Hartford Athletic. Still Angel Bennell, Camilo Ponce, Blaine Ferry, Milo Yosef, Rashid Tete and Luka Sawinski are the players that are not able to make it this afternoon. It is a beautiful afternoon here at One Oak Field. There's a look at Alexis Sawahi, who will be anchoring the defence alongside the aforementioned Bradley Bourgeois. Engelina, who's very much in form up front. They've got a very exciting attack, have the visitors, as we are underway. And it is green against green. Patina Green of FC Tulsa playing from left to right in the white shorts and white socks, with Hartford Athletic in those green socks, blue shorts and green shirts. There is Engelina. Goalkeeper is Ribeiro, rolling that one out. Long ball now down the right-hand side, over the top of Siegrist. Epps across goal, and that will be a good matchup. Marcus Epps against Patrick Siegrist.
And Epps has the ability, when he's on the wing 1v1, he can be really, really dangerous. So FC Tulsa will have to look out for him. As you get a quick look here at the Case & Associates keys to the game for FC Tulsa. Needing to stay calm. They want to continue to high press and definitely want to get numbers in the box offensively when they're going forward. But right now have almost all of their players in the box defending this early corner kick here from the visitors.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 balls on the field, so one of those disappears. It's going to be the Katrina Freshmax corner from the right, to be taken by Danny Pereira. As you say, Anna, everybody back. Goes short here to Epps. Back to Pereira. Diallo was in there quickly, but it's looped up into the air. It's headed back over the line. Both teams are peeling. Mr. Garcia, the referee, saying it will be a goal kick for FC Tulsa. He'll be glad to have defended that corner pretty well.
Yeah, they did, and they were able to absorb some of that early pressure, as we were alluding to earlier. The wing play from Marcus Epps, and when he has the ability to get 1v1, can be very dangerous. So FC Tulsa familiar with his type of play, but Hartford Athletic, after coming off of that strong 4-3 victory, is they're trying to continue to earn their spot in the playoffs as well. So a lot to play for, Dave. I'd imagine this will be a really entertaining match, high energy at this point.
Talking of high energy, here's a foraging run. Ball played into the box. So come to Engelina, wearing 11. Somalia was involved. Really, you would say, a 3 at the back for Hartford Athletic. FC Tulsa, interestingly enough, have gone to a 4 at the back, having played the last few games. Anna was with a 3, but it's certainly talking to Mario Sanchez is going to be, as far as Batch plays that one on, looking for Stojanovic cleared away. Certainly a back 4 for FC Tulsa today. Yeah,
an interesting switch up for them, obviously dependent as well on the personnel. As you get a look here at head coach Mario Sanchez, his inaugural season with FC Tulsa, he's brought in a few players, always very honest about where his team is and what they want to achieve, and understands that coming into this game, you know, they have to rely on some other teams, but need to take care of business today if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Arthur Rogers just shielding that one out. It's going to be a good matchup on both wings. Marcus Epps on the right up against Patrick Siegrist will be one to watch out for, and also watch out for Michi Engelina up against Arthur Rogers. It's Bradley Bourgeois. Sebastian Sanchez anchoring the midfield. Bourgeois goes out wide to Siegrist. Bourgeois again, who's creeping up to 12,000 minutes of play and breaks the FC Tulsa record for appearances. Here's Stojanovic. Diallo hit the defender. Otherwise it could have been a good ball. Good start by both teams in the late afternoon sunshine. Diallo finds Owen Dahm. Owen Dahm will switch to the right-hand side, bringing Arthur Rogers. Good start from FC Tulsa. Stojanovic. Dahm lets it go. Diallo can hit them. Diallo does hit them. That hits B-boot. Cleared away by the Hartford Athletic defence. Now there's a sprint on at the other end. Won by Alexi Sawahi over Mamadou Jiang. Jang's quick up front. He's tall, he's quick. And he gave a very nice pre-match interview with an interpreter. And he is quick, as we said, up front. It's only 20, the Senegalese forward.
When he's been able, as you can, I mean, you mentioned his quickness, but get him behind, create 10 goals on the season. So leads Hartford Athletic in that category, but one to look out for sure will be a handful for this FC Tulsa defense.
Faisal Batash out to Arthur Rogers. Rogers in the shade of the stands, back to Batash, the two Englishmen combining there. Ball dumped into the area, headed away. Barrera gets it down, and this is a break now with Engelina down that left-hand side. Rogers has got back well. Engelina onto his right foot, looking to fashion out an opportunity. That's really good quality defending from Arthur Rogers.
It was, and he struggled with some injury throughout this season as well, but good to see him back on the field for FC Tulsa these past few games, starting to really find his rhythm and form again in an FC Tulsa shirt.
Sebastian Sanchez, steady start from him, out to Faisal Batash, who tries to catch the goalkeeper unawares. Anna, you can see already, what have we played, 6 minutes? This is a very, very open game.
It is. I mean, both teams needing to go for it, as we mentioned coming into this game, a lot to play for, and just stylistically, both of these teams kind of match up in that way. There's a lot of space, they have speed, they want to go forward and score, and that can leave you a bit exposed in the back, but they have solid defenses. But I'd imagine that, again, with what's at stake here, this would be a pretty wide open game, and pre-game, both coaches in their interviews with the media said similar things. They know what to expect and just going to see who comes out and goes for it.
Barrera, who scored his only 2 goals of the season last season in that incredible 7-goal thriller against North Carolina. Hartford Athletic were coasting at 4-0 up, and in 3 late goals, including FC Tulsa's former top goal scorer Rodrigo da Costa getting one. It was an exciting game which Hartford Athletic held on to win by 4 goals to 3. Neither team here this afternoon would mind a scrappy 1-0. They wouldn't mind a 4-3. They just want to be on the winning side. The equation, Anna, for Hartford Athletic, very, very simple. They've got that game in hand, and 3 games, 3 wins, gets them in the playoffs without worrying about anybody else.
And that's where you want to be. You don't want to have to rely on other teams to help you out and kind of control your own destiny at that point. So Hartford Athletic in their driver's seat, which is where they want to be. FC Tulsa needing a bit more help, but still have a chance at getting into the playoffs. And so something that they're wanting to achieve and is within reach.
Marcus Epps. Engelina. Epps again on the left-hand side this time. Trying to go through, literally, Sebastian Sanchez, who holds him up well. Batch finds Stojanovic. Stojanovic spreads the play intelligently out to the orange-booted Patrick Segrist. He finds Darm. Darm's been pushed a little bit further forward. Here's Diallo inside the box. Diallo goes down, and the referee says penalty. Elton Garcia is the experienced centre official. He was 20 or so yards away. Diallo's down. Penalty to FC Tulsa. And let's have a look at who's got the responsibility, and a real chance with 9 minutes gone for FC Tulsa to get themselves on the board. Referee had no hesitation whatsoever. At the moment, Stojanovic has got the ball and placing it. Here's a replay, Anna Bergel. Definite penalty for you?
Good build-up from FC Tulsa, and you see Diallo understands that the pressure is coming, gets that first touch. Unfortunate there, but any contact leaves it open for the referee to make a decision, and he has done so here, and Stojanovic steps up.
Stojanovic then, who's scored 4 goals this season, hasn't had a chance from the spot, will hit this right-footed. And he comes up now and strikes it into the net. Beautiful penalty. FC Tulsa playoff race. It is FC Tulsa 1, Hartford Athletic 0.
With his 5th goal of the season, now leads FC Tulsa with 5 goals, and this is an important one, Dave. There's a lot of nerves. There's a lot on the line here for FC Tulsa. Early in this game, great start. Have to credit the build-up play that led to the penalty kick as well. But big-time moment for FC Tulsa and Stojanovic to convert here. We'll get another look with pace. Just off to that right side there, left of the keeper, and able to convert in a big moment.
Well, that's just what the doctor ordered if you're an FC Tulsa fan. And now, of course, it means Hartford Athletic have to come out even more at FC Tulsa because they want the 3 points. The scenario for FC Tulsa, as we talk about the USL Championship race to the playoffs presented by Terminix, is that FC Tulsa have to win both of their games, Anna, but Oakland Roots cannot pick up any points from their 2 games.
And again, unfortunate from an FC Tulsa perspective that you do have to rely a little bit on other things that you can't control.
Danger in the area, chance! And Barrera holds his head in hands because that was a chance. And in the end, it was an easy routine save for Johan Peñaranda.
Yeah, Barrera there really had some space. As we get a quick look here at Aaron Wheeler, who's stepping in, coaching tonight for Hartford Athletic. He's the assistant coach after Coach Brendan Burke out for this match after receiving his 8th yellow card of the season last Saturday.
Yeah, interesting. Wheeler was forced out of retirement, or asked to come out of retirement. He originally retired from playing in 2017, but made his return as a player for Brendan Burke and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks in 2022 and was part of their run to the Western Conference Finals that season. Stepping in, as you say, for Coach Brendan Burke, who was named head coach on December the 12th of 2023. Here's Faisal Patash. You see Tulsa looking for a second ball into the area. Good save by the goalkeeper. Guerra signs are industry leaders in visa processing for professional athletes. They work hard off the field for the players to succeed on it. Reach out today for your organization's consultation. Thanks for joining us here on ESPN Plus and also Cox Your View and Cox Channel 3. This game sponsored by Bill Knight of Barnesville. 1-0 to FC Tulsa, a goal in the 9th minute from the penalty spot, scored his 5th of the season by Stefan Stojanovic. Here's Marcus Epps, the former FC Tulsa winger. Hartford Athletic building. Samadia to Engelina. Engelina wants it back, gets it back. Sebastian Sanchez in the way. It will be a corner, but as we said again, this is an end-to-end game. And Danny Barrera from the left-hand side will outswing this Katrina Freshmax corner. Holds the right arm aloft. Everybody back in an FC Tulsa shirt. That's into the danger area. Aaron Bibit was back there with the header. Samadia. Left-footed ball into the box. Out comes Johan Peñaranda. He gets a big roar from the crowd because that's a really beautiful catch from Johan Peñaranda, who's been in fine form since donning the gloves for Mario Sanchez and FC Tulsa.
No, he hasn't. He really has a unique story. I mean, within a matter of a month, went from an extremely short-term contract to signing with FC Tulsa and has since never looked back and played really well, is now on the other end.
Owen Darm might hit one. It's the defender, Scarlett. Now Bouchois. Seagrass just hitting that one out. Throw into Hartford Athletic. Just Shields with it. Be another throw-in for Michael DeShields in his 8th start of the season. Had a couple of seasons at Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Batash, who's having a pretty good start to this game, finds Diallo. Diallo likes to hit them, didn't quite get that one as he would have wanted, and he waves an arm at Stojanovic. But this is a much brighter start from FC Tulsa that we've seen of late here at One Oak Field, Anna.
It is. I mean, clearly there's a sense of urgency there as well with what's at stake, but FC Tulsa, they have the caliber of players. They've always, had the idea offensively. Have scored some outstanding goals throughout this season, but definitely needing to show up in this game offensively. And obviously the penalty kick, what led up to that point, great build-up play, and getting players like Owen Dom higher up the field, Stefan Stojanovic playing with more confidence now, especially after converting in a big-time moment in B-Boot. Bright spot for this FC Tulsa team, who we highlighted in the open. 4 goals since he has joined FC Tulsa, and they have been outstanding goals. So they definitely have the firepower up top to make things happen, just needing to convert in those moments, and so far have done so.
Good build-up. Rogers, goal scorer Stojanovic, wins the throw-in. It finished earlier. Detroit 3, Miami 0. Detroit into 3rd place, and they cannot be caught actually by Indy 11. They could be caught on goal difference by Rhode Island, but Detroit looking good for the top 3 in a home playoff berth. Hartford Athletic coming away with the ball here. Just about kept in. Engelina into Mamadou Dieng. Engelina again, now Barrera, who had a really good chance to level things up. Marcus Epps, who would love to score against his old club, hits the post, came pretty close. Good curling shot with his left foot, with Johan Peñaranda beaten. This game is very, very open, and that was close.
It is. FC Tulsa fans have seen that before, his ability to cut inside and that quick release of the shot, but the technical ability, you alluded to it, Dave, the ball curling into that back post, but Peñaranda fortunate there that one doesn't tuck inside, but a great look from Marcus Epps on the wing.
Faisal Batash. Rogers goes to ground, where you can check out all the exciting post-season action as the USL playoffs presented by Terminix kick off in November. The top teams will battle it out for the ultimate prize. Go to USLChampionship.com for all the latest playoff information. And there are still places up for grabs. Phoenix Rising clinches a playoff berth if they can win against Memphis and move to 45 points. Orange County will clinch a playoff berth if they beat New Mexico, who we know have already won the league, and they've moved to 45. Oakland Roots, of course, will clinch a playoff berth. If Oakland Roots wins against Las Vegas FC, they would move to 44. So there's still plenty of shuffling, and at the moment FC Tulsa are doing all they can. Remember, they have to win here this afternoon. Then it would be bring on Monterey Bay next Saturday to bring down the curtain on the regular season, and who knows, on goal difference, if Oakland Roots don't pick up any more points, FC Tulsa it could be who would sneak in 8th place. As the world demands low cost, low carbon energy, Williams will be there with the best transport, storage and delivery solutions. Williams, we make clean energy happen. 1-0 the score, a penalty by Stefan Stojanovic, his 5th goal of the season. The goal on 9 minutes separating the two sides. Danny Barrera had a really good chance, didn't get the shot correct, and then Marcus Epps, the former FC Tulsa man, has just hit the post in this open game, which both teams need to win. Now Bourgeois has been beaten by Dieng. Dieng to Engelina. Engelina inside the box, couple of step overs, trying to get it on his right foot. Hits the shot towards goal, and it's off the line by Patrick Siegrist. Owen Darm. Diallo's crashed into the advertising hoardings, but hope he's okay. He is. He's up, out of shot, back onto the field. Patash. Faisal Patash from Westminster in London. Out to Arthur Rogers from London. Owen Darm, good ball into the box. Darm still with the ball here. Dumped into the box to the far post. Bibu with the header. He's tall at 6'3", but that one just headed wide and about.
The game really is end to end, which has made it fun to watch in these first 20 minutes or so between these two teams, and we knew it would be that way coming in. We'll get another look here at this last sequence from FC Tulsa. Dangerous ball in. Bibu trying to just rise up there, but not able to get over it enough to put it back on frame. But both teams obviously have had chances. FC Tulsa converting on the penalty kick. Hartford Athletic with some dangerous balls in off the post. Good delivery in from the wings. I'd imagine, Dave, there's going to be more goals in this game between these two teams, as historically there definitely has been.
Yeah, you look at the head-to-head series, Anna, and it went the way of Hartford Athletic in 2022. They beat FC Tulsa by 2-1 here at One Oak Field. And then also another 3-2 win again at One Oak Field. And then it was, that was at Hartford Athletic. And then it was the other way round last year in 2023. FC Tulsa won very late with Goodrum goal, winning up by 3-2. And then a kind of a dead game. Neither team was in the playoffs. Last game of the season, FC Tulsa in Hartford Athletics Stadium beat them by 5-2. So this one does produce goals traditionally. Faisal Batch, I think, was going for an incredible 40-yard chip. He saw the goalkeeper Ibero off his line, but it went wrong. Here's Scarlett just swapping passes. Patient build-up. Back. Sawahi gets a good header and gets it into the path of Stojanovic. Stojanovic tries to go towards B-Boot. Good header from Joseph Farrell. Batash. Segrist. Darm would have been offside. So far so good for FC Tulsa. We're in the 24th minute. But we say again, Anna, you just feel with any attack, either team could score here this afternoon.
And that's what we've alluded to, in a sense where a lot at stake, but both teams have the ability to score a lot of goals. It makes for these high-scoring games, which is fun to watch. And a lot of these players wanting to convert in those big moments. And these are, ideally you want to have a clinched playoff spot at this point, but these are the games where your big-time players need to step up in, and you look to them to do that in those big moments and stay calm, have that level head. Stojanovic able to do that so far for FC Tulsa, and for Hartford Athletic wanting to do the same here.
Yeah, here's the ball into the box, and it's an own goal. It's come off Alexis Sawahi, and we are level at 1-1. It was good play from Engelina down the left-hand side. He played the ball into the box. And unfortunately for Alexis Sawahi, that goes into the net, and we are FC Tulsa 1, Hartford Athletic 1.
And that just shows you that when you play a dangerous ball into the box with pace, have runners, with pressure, you never know what might happen. Good things can happen, and Engelina doing well in that moment. The delivery in the box, unfortunate. Sawahi got to the ball first, but not the direction that he wanted to, and now an equalizer for Hartford Athletic.
Well, it always produces goals, as we said a few minutes ago, and we've already had 2 here inside the first 25 minutes. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DM, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Select matches, including the championship final, will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Epps driving down the right-hand side, but unfortunately he's got that one all wrong, and that will be a goal kick. Marcus Epps, the 29-year-old, he played 43 times for FC Tulsa, scored 11 goals and 7 assists. Just 1 goal for the season at San Antonio for his current employers in the 3-1 defeat back on April the 20th. Scarlett plays it to Farrell. Now the back to Henan Ibero, and out comes Jordan Scarlett. Scarlett finds Samadia. I think Aline has impressed me down this left-hand side. Gets a wonderful 1-2. Just checks his run. Back to Samadia, into the box, away by Sawahi, who will be pleased to have got another good touch on the ball, having scored the own goal. Never easy for a defender though, Anna. You just stick your leg out, hoping it will go away for a corner, and sometimes they do fly in the back of the net. It's just part of being a defender, isn't it?
It is, and you know, credit Hartford Athletic putting the defenders in that position where you're facing your own goal. You have pressure on your back. It's definitely not an easy spot to be in, and you're trying to just clear the ball away, and unfortunate that sometimes that happens to great players, and how you respond is important mentally, just forgetting about it and getting back to the game that you know how to play and not letting it affect you going forward.
Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa is your place for fun and entertainment after the match. Enjoy a world-class casino experience with high-stakes tables and over 1,600 electronic games. Just 4 miles from One Oak Field, Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa. Here's a ball over the top, looking for Engalina, who tries to go past Rogers. Got past Rogers, inside the box, but he couldn't get past Sawahi or Johan Peñaranda. And I would suggest that Engalina needs a little bit more looking after if you're an FC Tulsa defender or player, because he's certainly pulling the strings up this left-hand side for Hartford Athletic, Anna.
Have to pay more attention to him for sure. We talked about Marcus Epps being a threat on the wing, but Engalina, the runs that he's made have been so effective.
Attached to Bibu, Bibu to Diallo, Diallo to Darm. Darm, who got the penalty. Clash of players off the ball. Here's Marcus Epps striding down that right-hand side up against Bradley Bouchois. Epps has already hit the bar. This time hits his former teammate Bradley Bouchois, and Segris will pick it up. Just incredible, the openness of the game, isn't it?
And it'll be interesting to see how the game develops at this pace of play, because when you're playing such high energy, you're making 30-40 yard sprints forward with your team and then having to come back and defend, and doing that multiple times, there hasn't really been too much of a lull or, you know, calmness in play. It's just been very open and very fast paced, and especially at this point in the season, with the players' bodies having played almost a full regular season, trying to manage the fitness and the minutes. So we'll see who can sustain this pace of play.
Faisal Batash to Stojanovic. Rogers goes forward. Sanchez lays it off for Sawahi, who goes wide to Batash. Rogers got clipped from behind by Samadia, so it's going to be a free kick for FC Tulsa, who led this one in the 9th minute with a penalty from Stojanovic, but an own goal from Alexis Sawahi brings us back to a 1-1 score. free kick now, and FC Tulsa have got players aplenty inside the box. Hartford Athletic have everybody bar none back in the area, and it is Rogers. Barrera's just crept outside the one-man wall. Here's Rogers into the box. There's a shot just over the bar from Aaron Beboot, who withdrawn himself to the 18-yard line. Another good opportunity, Anna.
It was, and FC Tulsa has seen him score some incredible goals this season, we alluded to in the open, but at that distance, whether he's facing the goal square, he's had some great strikes, just doesn't connect with that one the way he wants to, leaning back a bit, kind of chops at it. But another great player.
Jordan Scarlett out wide to Samadia, who goes back to Scarlett. That one's out. That will be a throw into FC Tulsa. Rogers throws it short here to Stojanovic, who's looking much more lively today. Aaron Beboot always gives his heart in trying. Stojanovic. Batash to Diallo. Good passing from FC Tulsa. Batash. Rogers low into the box, headed away. Bradley Bourgeois heads it towards the left-hand side. Intelligent ball from Epps, but this is a wonderful run from Jang. Jang now has brought in Engelina. Engelina shoots, blocked by Alexis Sawahi. Jang is so quick, he's given both Sawahi and Bourgeois a run for their money.
And that ball initially from back to front really just bypassed the midfield and able to give Jang some space to run into, and then the awareness to get his head up, find that run from Engelina, who has been end to end himself, making some excellent runs, getting in the mix, but well defended in the end from FC Tulsa, but still the pressure comes.
Barrera. Barrera again, who got the Championship Player of the Week this week for his 2 goals against North Carolina in that 7-goal thriller. Well, Diallo got a tackle in, but unfairly, and it leaves Epps on the floor. As we can tell you that Oklahoma State University Medicine is FC Tulsa's official sports medicine partner. 1-1 the score. Free kick to the away side. Hartford Athletic playing from right to left on your screens in the darker green shirts up against the patina green of the home side FC Tulsa in this USL Championship match. Cross-conference game. Both teams in the race to the playoffs presented by Terminix, chasing the top 8. Hartford Athletic have things in their own hands. FC Tulsa will need help from others. There's the ball from Barrera into the area, headed away by Sawahi. Engelina now on the corner of the box, curls one. Easy save for Johan Peñaranda, who calms things down and has to shield the late afternoon sun from his eyes. Sawahi bringing the ball away. Goes long up towards Beboot. Scarlett's in there first. Diallo couldn't get past Barrera. Epps lays it off. Hairston. And Scarlett's taking his eye off that one, but picked up by Samadia, who goes back to Henan Ribeiro, the 34-year-old Brazilian who's kept 8 clean sheets. Won't add to that tally, of course, today. 94 saves coming into this. And he's conceded 28 goals. Here he is all in red. Epps, who's been lively, runs into trouble with Sebastian Sanchez. Referee deeming everything to be fair. Ball rolled off here for Danny Barrera. Out to the dangerous Engelina. Engelina, who loves to run at defenders, go onto his right foot, shoot. Just past the target. But he is a threat. Engelina. He's a good player, isn't he? He's quick, he likes to take on players. You can see him shaping to come onto his right foot. Here's a replay, Anna.
Yeah, he's been really good 1v1 too. Keeps the ball close. He's made good runs up and down that wing and really made an effort to get forward to when players like Jang have been isolated, sprinting forward with pace. So he does a lot of work off the ball, and when he has had the ball has definitely caused FC Tulsa some problems defensively as they've tried to contain him.
FC Tulsa's home form, 1-3, lost 5 and drawn 7. The last game, the 1-1 draw with New Mexico, which gave New Mexico the point they needed to win the league. It kept FC Tulsa's playoff chances alive. Obviously they wanted to win the game, but talking to coach Mario Sanchez earlier this week, and he said, you know, that point could prove to be very important, because if they'd lost the game, that really would have been it. But it keeps it alive. Here's Stojanovic. Sebastian Sanchez. Patrick Segrist. Infield here to Boubacar Diallo. Segrist. Ball to the far post. Stojanovic was looking to have a shot. Owen Darm laying it off here for Sanchez. Sanchez cushions the ball out to Faisal Patash, who will try one. And that was just over the bar. There was no touch from the goalkeeper, says the referee, but Patash not afraid to have a go there, Anna.
No, he's not, and he was another addition to this FC Tulsa team throughout the season and has started to find his form, but this was very close, about a foot over. Enough pace on it from distance, and a really good effort. Another good look for FC Tulsa.
Tampa Bay Rowdies 0, North Carolina 2 with 9 minutes to go. That game being played at North Carolina. Here is Engelina, who's been fully involved in this first half. Hairston. De Shields. There's a foul by Diallo. He's got to be careful. There's a couple of fouls now. Diallo is one of those combative players. The man who was fouled, Beverly Makangila, the Congolese player, scored the only goal of the season in his only goal of the season in a 7-goal thriller with North Carolina last game. He scored the third to go 3-0 up for his side, who then promptly made it 4, and the game finished 4-3, as we've already told you about. So plenty of goals in that one, and we feel there's more to come in this one. It's 1-1. The players are lined up level with the penalty spot. Danny Barrera is clever enough to get this just over that line and drop it in between that line and the goalkeeper, but he goes short to Marcus Epps. Epps hits the ball against Owen Dunn. Corner to Hartford Athletic.
And that's something that FC Tulsa will have to be mindful of, especially with the thin margin between these two teams. They've given up a few fouls in and around the 18. And Hartford Athletic, they're not able to execute on that play, but earning a corner kick and another good opportunity.
Yeah, Katrina Freshmack's corner. Here's Barrera's left-footed in swing. It's a really good one, but it was a good header away, glancing header away by Patrick Segrist. Samadia trying to go around Batash. Does get the ball into the box, headed away by Bouchois. There's a shot lashed in. Is Marcus Epps, clever ball from Epps to Galina. Galina hits Sawahi, who gets in the way. And now Galina heads it back in, and Johan Peñaranda catches the ball. At times, it looks very chaotic, but it's mightily effective when you see a defender throwing themselves in the way of a shot, Anna.
I mean, sometimes that's just what it takes, and having the bravery to do so is half the battle, but great combination play from Epps and Galina. And Epps with the awareness as well. He kind of had his back to goal, but saw the run out of the corner of his eye from Galina, who has been so active in this first half.
It remains 1-1. Ball is out, and the two away wins that I told you about in the intro to the program, as we see this replay, and Galina there heading that one, and then Rogers headed it back to him, and he just heads it really to Johan Peñaranda. The two wins, incredibly, at El Paso on the first day of the season, 1-0, and then they had to wait till September the 14th to go to Miami and win that one by 3-0. So they would dearly love their third away win of the season. FC Tulsa would dearly love their fourth home win of the season, as Owen Darm throws it into the box. It comes out here to Sebastian Sanchez, who chips it towards goal. That's a routine save for the Brazilian Ribeiro. Jang was offside, first offside for his team in this game. Say again, it's a good game to watch. You can see both teams want the 3 points. Both defences have been undone by some good attacking play. They're different styles, Anna, aren't they? FC Tulsa and Hartford Athletic. But both attacks, you would say, have been slightly on top in this game.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch, and we've talked about this throughout the season and kind of the mental aspect of it, but when you have players on the wings trying to kind of assert their dominance and set that tone and allow and force the defender to think about it and have to resort back defensively and not play with as much freedom going forward. And we've seen that battle all night from both wings. And at times, Hartford Athletic, especially in these last few minutes with Galina and Marcus Epps, have really shown well.
FC Tulsa going out to Stojanovic, who runs into the defender. No foul. That one comes off Rogers, spins away, and that will be a throw-in. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Somalia. Galina. Back to Hairston. Joseph Farrell. Epps into Hairston. Hairston's ball was not the best, and Stojanovic can play it back to Sawahi. Stojanovic deep in his own territory. Sebastian Sanchez wants to keep hold of the football there, deep in his own territory. Segrist goes long, looking for Owen Darm, who's onside. And then Darm got the wrong side. And there was a foul by Owen Darm. Man who was fouled there was Michael De Shields. Jordan Scarlett, the captain. Barrera gets a pretty free roll in there. 1-1 the score. Coming up to half time. Hope you're enjoying this one as much as we are. Dave Saunders, Anna Bergel with you here on ESPN Plus, Koch Your View and Koch Channel 3 as Galina's got in behind the defence, but Rogers is with him. This will be a good time to score. There's a shot which is driven wide, and Johan Peñaranda will take his time as we come up to seeing the fourth official Tim Wagner's board, which says 1 minute of Tulsa Tech stoppage time. Just caught a glimpse of the Oktoberfest shirts as well. You and I would like to get one of those shirts. They look quite good, don't they, those blue and white Oktoberfest shirts?
Yeah, they do. A lot of festivities in and around Tulsa. I think, what is there, a Stein holding contest maybe at halftime, or?
Yes, I have to pop down to take. Not really. No, it's one of those where they hold the Steiner beer out in, and it's a strength of character and physical strength as well. So that one will be at half time. Mr. Garcia right on top of the play says it was a foul. Pereira. Head down. Samadia. Good ball. Angelina's got space here. Angelina, right-footed shot. Saved by Peñaranda's right leg. And it goes away for a goal kick, but that was the last action of the first half, and it's been very, very entertaining. And it finishes 1-1, and a lot for the coaches to talk about down in the locker room, Tanabogo.
And as you saw at the end of that last play, Peñaranda just trying to kind of bring the energy up for FC Tulsa in Galena. I'd be really interested to see how much ground he's covered in this first half with that final effort from Hartford Athletic. But end-to-end game as we imagined it would be coming into this afternoon's match against FC Tulsa, and Hartford Athletic able to find the equalizer off of an unfortunate own goal, but they have continued to apply the pressure on this defense, and we're tied 0-0.
Lots of action we've seen in the first half. We've got lots to get through during halftime in the Williams Halftime Show. Halftime here at One Oak Field is FC Tulsa 1, Hartford Athletic 1.
When I come home, it's like I feel like I'm in my dream home. I've been doing a little research on HELOCs, and I went to Oklahoma Central Credit Union. They were wonderful. We've added pretty much a new addition to our house. We didn't even have to pay the closing cost. They paid it for us. So I've been with Oklahoma Central for quite a while. I'm not going anywhere else.
What would you do if you only had one life to live? Well, that's kind of how this whole thing works. So bite off more than you can chew. Don't wait for someone else's green light. Go after what they say you can't. Oklahoma needs more doers, and doers don't wait. Get skilled, get paid. Tulsa Tech, powered by Oklahoma Career Tech.
Hi, I'm Bill Knight for Bill Knight Ford. When you buy a vehicle from us, your transaction doesn't end when you drive off the lot. That's because all vehicle purchases come backed by the Knight Advantage. This includes a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new vehicles, a 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty on all used vehicles, and a low price guarantee. These exclusive offers help make your car buying experience easier and more affordable. And that's why we're Oklahoma's #1 Ford dealer, Bill Knight Ford, home of the Knight Advantage.
Summertime is back at Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, and we have the perfect getaway for you. Cool off in our spacious freeform pool, grab your favorite drink and chill at the poolside bar, or relax and unwind in a cozy private cabana. Just steps away are tempting restaurants, live entertainment, and a world-class casino gaming experience. At Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, your place to stay and relax.
On as even here as Stefan Stoyanovic's fifth of the season was pegged back by an own goal from Alexis Sawahi. Gives us a halftime score of 1-1. We'll be back with more from the Williams Halftime Show right after this.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it. We all have goals.
But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Welcome to Do or Die. Welcome to stories that give meaning to it all. The juggernaut chasing history. The hero hoping for a Hollywood ending. The upstart determined to make the most of its shot at glory. Welcome to second guessing everything. Every coach's decision, every referee's call, every pass, shot, tackle, save. Because you know it all means more now. Welcome to the playoffs.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
When connection is needed most, Cox is there to help. When families depend on affordable internet, we support them. When students need the tools to succeed, we empower them. And when veterans need a company who serves them, they can count on Cox. Whenever and wherever it matters most, we'll be there.
Welcome back into One Oak Field, early Saturday evening here. The sun is shining. We've seen a wonderful first half, 1-1 between FC Tulsa and Hartford Athletic. Now the USL Championship race to the playoffs, sponsored by Terminix, is really hotting up here, Anna Bergel. As we look at the standings, you can see the top 5 teams there with the X next to them. They're all in. They can relax, kind of. And then you've got a fight between Orange County, Phoenix Rising, Oakland Roots, San Antonio and FC Tulsa. So really it's 5 teams chasing those 3 spots.
Right, and it comes down to the fine details, Dave. Orange County clinches a playoff berth if they can win against New Mexico United. Oakland Roots can also clinch with a win at Las Vegas Lights. So a lot of movement left and a ton at stake here as we enter into these last few games. As you get a look at the Eastern Conference standings, Lou City on top of that, Players Shield winners for this season, followed by Charleston Battery and Detroit City FC, who have also clinched. But Dave, Hartford Athletic in 11th right now, but controlling their own destiny and have the ability to get above that playoff line if they can get the job done here.
Yeah, and the simple equation for them, you can see they played a game less than pretty much everybody else, or Tampa Bay Rowdies obviously playing North Carolina. But if they can win their 3 games, Anna, 49, they're in. And that's their equation. 1-1 at half-time here, so both teams desperate for the points. Let's have a look at some scores from around the grounds. Loudoun United 0, Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC 1, that one at half-time. Tampa Bay Rowdies 0, North Carolina FC 2. That one played at North Carolina because of the recent hurricanes. More of that in our news and notes in just a moment. And then some really important games for FC Tulsa. Las Vegas Lights tonight, 9:30 Central Time against Oakland Roots. FC Tulsa fans will be cheering on Las Vegas in that one because their Oakland Roots getting a point would eliminate FC Tulsa. Then you've got San Antonio versus Lou City as well at 7:30, and Indy 11 Birmingham Legion at 6 Central Time, and Orange County versus New Mexico. New Mexico, who wrapped up the league, they will finish top of the conference with the 1-1 draw against FC Tulsa here last Saturday. As we take you now to our news and notes, and how about this from Louisville City, who donated over 20K to the Tampa Bay Rowdies to assist with relief efforts following Hurricanes Helene and Milton. It is not just about a game of football. Well done to Lou City. Sacramento Republic FC forward Davion Kimbrough has been called up to the United States under-15 squad for its upcoming training camp. Congratulations to Davion. And also El Paso Locomotive FC claimed the 2024 Copa Tejas after earning a 2-2 draw against an in-state rival, San Antonio FC, last week. That is your news and notes for week 33. We've got the first half highlights, we've got the stats from the first half, and we're also looking to a really good second half where both of these teams are desperate for the points. As we take you to break, it is FC Tulsa 1, Hartford Athletic 1.
When connection is needed most, Cox is there to help. When families depend on affordable internet, we support them. When students need the tools to succeed, we empower them. And when veterans need a company who serves them, they can count on Cox. Whenever and wherever it matters most, we'll be there.
The stadium lights, the roar of the crowd, the heart and character displayed, and the brotherhood forged on the field. One play can shift the momentum. This is more than a game. It's Ford Game of the Week.
Ford Game of the Week. Muskogee versus Sand Springs. Live this Friday on Your View, Cox Channel 3.
Interesting thing about Oklahoma, we have oil wells on our Capitol grounds. Our state song is from the Broadway musical Oklahoma. And we have some of the most unpredictable weather. From tornado outbreaks, record-breaking heat waves, and relentless floods and storms, Oklahoma has experienced many extremes. Extremes like these require constant forecasts. That's why there's no-wait weather. We won't tell you what to expect. We'll show you all day long. No-wait weather on Your View Channel 3.
Tonight's match is brought to you by our game sponsor, Bill Knight of Bardesville. By Williams, we make clean energy happen. By Osage Casino Hotel, your place to play. And by Tulsa Spine and Rehab, a team of specialists in one place, delivering lasting pain relief. As we get into the first half highlights with my broadcast partner, Anna Bergel, and it's been quite an entertaining 45 minutes, Anna.
It has, and we knew coming into this game that it would be pretty open, and it started off from FC Tulsa. Good build-up play. Diallo led to that penalty kick, and then Stojanovic stepping up, calm, able to collect himself and convert for the team-leading 5th goal of the season for FC Tulsa. And then Marcus Epps, familiar to FC Tulsa fans, almost executes here. Great footwork, and then curler to the back post, but off of that far post crossbar. And then this was another dangerous ball in, and then unfortunate from Alexi Sawahi, as this one resulted in an own goal, and Hartford Athletic able to get one back here. And FC Tulsa now trying to find a response, but Hartford Athletic continued to apply the pressure as the first half came to a close. And it'll be fun to see this second half, Dave, because as we've already alluded to, so much at stake here for these two teams, and they'll both be going for it.
And let's have a look at the stats of that very entertaining first half. And plenty of shots, 18 in total, 3 on target, but possession just in favour of Hartford Athletic. But almost those stats don't tell the excitement of that first half, do they?
No, they don't, and it doesn't take into account there have been some really good play on the wings, up and down the flanks. The delivery into the box has been great and has forced the goalkeepers and defenders to throw their bodies in front of shots and try to make those saves. And it's been a fun, energetic first half, so I'll be interested to see if those teams can keep and sustain that pace that they did in the first half.
Let's have a look at the team of the week, and there's a very familiar name if you've been watching the first half of this game, and that is Hartford Athletics' Danny Barrera, who is in this Team of the Week along with his teammate Marlon Hairston. Congratulations to Danny Barrera, who rightfully got the Player of the Week and the Team of the Week.
Yeah, great performance against North Carolina. 2 goals in that game, added an assist in that thrilling victory as they were able to hang on to that 4-3 win, as they're still in control of their playoff hopes thanks to performances like those from Danny Barrera and Marlon Hairston. So congrats to all of these players. Diego Gomez, Coach of the Week for Phoenix Rising FC, and now's the time where you want your big time players to step up at this point in the season.
Yes, it is. Back to the here and now. Both teams in their huddles. Beautiful early evening here in downtown Tulsa. One Oak Field is the venue, the home of FC Tulsa. And just to remind everybody, as we talk about the race to the playoffs presented by Terminix, that if this result stands, FC Tulsa will have 1 game left next week, and it will be impossible for them to get into the playoffs. Now, Elton Garcia, the referee, is getting a little bit impatient as you get a beautiful shot of some of the tower blocks around One Oak Field. There's Aaron Beeboot, we showed you in the lineup. Scored an absolute wonderful goal last week against New Mexico United. And all 4 of his goals have been pretty spectacular. He would dearly love to score another one, which who knows could be the game winner. I'll tell you about a substitution. And Harvey Sinclair has come on for FC Tulsa. And I think it's Arthur Rogers who's been withdrawn at half-time. That's an attacking substitution. Harvey Sinclair, very good on the right-hand side with his assists, and puts in some delicious crosses for the likes of Beeboot.
Yeah, and that's what, we talked about in the first half, and the delivery from both teams has been great and has led to some really good goal-scoring opportunities, and Harvey St. Clair can bring that for FC Tulsa, as we've seen throughout the season. So a thoughtful change here at halftime, as we've alluded to it all game, but the stakes are high, and FC Tulsa needing to push here to keep their season alive.
Scarlett blasts it forward, headed away by Bourgeois, who we said is coming up to 12,000 minutes in the USL Championship. Here's Owen Darm, on loan from Lou City, up to Faisal Batash. Batash keeps control of the ball. Good skill from him. Lays it back to Bourgeois. Patient from FC Tulsa. Batash now, he's let that one go to Engelini. You don't want to do that. And there's a ball through to Jang. Jang goes down in the area, and the referee says there was nothing doing whatsoever, but Batash there gets away with one. Doesn't want to give it away in that area of the field.
No, and especially to a player like Engelina, who had an outstanding first half, really active, causing the FC Tulsa defense problems and something to think about, and have to be mindful of those errant passes in the midfield, because we've seen how Hartford Athletic can be dangerous in transition.
Ball back to Ribeiro. Can't remember Ribeiro having to make too many saves, if any, Anna, in the first half. Obviously beaten by the penalty. So from an FC Tulsa point of view, you'd hope that he has a much busier second half. Certainly Johan Peñaranda had to make several saves.
Right, and the shots that I remember, and Batash had a good one, but they were just over the bar. They weren't on frame, and that's something where, to your point, needing to force Ribeiro to make a save and get some more shots on goal. Because there have been a lot of good instances of play in and around the 18-yard box, but clearly needing to be clinical in front of goal.
Harvey Sinclair's won that back with a slight push on the lively Engelina, who's certainly been my man of the match, I would suggest, so far in this game. Here he is again on the ball. In his 28th start of the season, he's got 8 goals and 4 assists. Before this game, he'd had 61 shots.
And it won't show up on the score sheet, but he was a key contributor to Sawahi's own goal. I mean, up and down that wing, and his dangerous cross in led to that opportunity and equalizer for Hartford.
So, long ball from Joe Farrell. Sawahi does well with Bourgeois. Sebastian Sanchez just turned the wrong way there. Epps picks it up for Hartford Athletic. In the midfield now, Makangila. Farrell with the ball, had 5 seasons with Phoenix and a season with Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Is Hairston, who got the Team of the Week accolade. This we just showed you alongside teammate Danny Barrera. Scarlett. Angelina turns, runs past Harvey Sinclair, shoots, and it hits Alexis Sawahi back there. Still the danger not over. Stooping header away. Again from Sawahi. Samadia into the box. There's a free header this time for Hairston, who heads it over, which prompts a little inquest with the defenders back there, Anna.
Hartford Athletic has really applied some good pressure here in these last few minutes, and you saw Bradley Bourgeois and Sawahi kind of coming together, trying to talk about, sort things out, and Galena again kind of being the catalyst of that play. And Dave, it's been the little things too that he's done really well. His first touch just completely cutting off the defender, taking him out of the play and allowing others to get involved, and that's something that FC Tulsa will need to sort out here in this second half if they want to limit goal scoring opportunities for Hartford.
Diallo getting away literally from the shackles of Marcus Epps, and surprised he did. Yeah, I think the referee let that go as long as he could, but Epps was certainly trying to pull back on the shirt of Diallo. 51st minute here at One Oak Field in this game that both teams have to win. Tash puts it into the area. There's a header away by Makangila. Now Darm. Owen Darm with Marcus Epps. Good skill from Darm, but he's got to be careful. And in the end, it's going to go the way of Hartford Athletic, with Owen Darm going nowhere there. As the world demands low cost, low carbon energy, Williams will be there with the best transport, storage and delivery solutions. Williams, we make clean energy happen. 1-1 the score. It's the 10th minute when Stojanovic slotted away a penalty. 14 minutes later, Alexis Sawahi unfortunately putting him through to his own goal, which gives us the half-time score 1-1. And we played 6 minutes of the second half in this very open game. Talking of open, here's Angelina, who's got the freedom of One Oak Field. Now steps in the area, pulls it across the box. Again, there's a defensive clearance from Sawahi. Angelina again, wearing 11, wide on that left-hand side. Linking up well with Samadia, who wants to go to the byline, does, brings it into the box. There's a header down. And Hartford Athletic miss a wonderful opportunity through Jang.
Really dangerous ball in, and you saw from Jang's reaction there, good positioning about the top of the 6, just needed to make contact, redirect, but doesn't connect with it the way that he wants to, and knows by his own standards should have done better there. Is this game end to end with B-Boot now?
Aaron B-Boot. Faisal Batash. A lot of green shirts back now. The darker green of Hartford Athletic. Batash, low ball into the box, looking for Darm. Darm's got the ball from out of the defender's feet, and in the end it's going to roll away, and the assistant and the referee combining to say it will be a Katrina Freshmax corner.
Dom really just snuck in there on that last play, but not able to get a clean shot. But Batash here, the corner kick opportunity upcoming for FC Tulsa.
Alexis Sawahi and Bradley Bourgeois right near the penalty spot. Sawahi has scored with his head from an assist from a corner. Plenty of players jostling for position. There's the ball into the box. It's headed down by Bourgeois, and no one, and I think Bourgeois is making that point, no one going towards the second ball.
Have to follow through on those far post runs. Bourgeois making that near post run in that corner, kind of at the top of the 6, and then you saw it's reacting from FC Tulsa. In those moments, need to anticipate and assume that ball might make it across, and an opportunity missed from FC Tulsa.
Still Loudoun 0, Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC 1, and Indy 11 against Birmingham Legion 0-0 after 11 minutes. Wins for Detroit and North Carolina earlier on today. Here's Marcus Epps. Sebastian Sanchez does well to Faisal Batash, who could have set Stojanovic away. Stojanovic had his head down. Hartford have the ball in the midfield. Vakangila. Still good possession from the away side, who have their destiny in their own hands if they can win this one, the first of 3. They've got a pretty tough schedule. Barrera. Jang. Epps. De Shields to the byline, pulls it back, headed away by Harvey Sinclair, who came on at half-time to replace Arthur Rogers. Now there's a long ball and a chase for Aaron Beboot. It's cushioned back by Scarlett. Just looking at the schedule, Hartford Athletic will play Tampa Bay Rowdies, and they'll also play Orange County. So those are their 2 games after this one. Now Marcus Epps may have a bit of an issue with his left knee here. As the ball goes over the top, there's nobody around him. I think it's one of those, Anna, where the player just twists the knee, and I think the assistant referee is saying that some attention will be needed here. Or is it his left foot?
I'm wondering if it might be a cramp there. Again, late in the season, high intensity game, as a substitution will be made for FC Tulsa. Stojanovic, the goal scorer, comes off. DeLu comes on.
Yep, Alex DeLu, and there's some attention being applied to Marcus Epps, the former FC Tulsa player. I think you're right, Anna. I think it was maybe a cramp that just can happen at any time. Still delicately poised, 1-1. Well, it's Oktoberfest time, as we know. Very apparent in the city of Tulsa, and at half-time we had a Stein holding competition, and the idea of that one is to hold the arm out straight with the Stein full of beer. Certainly I would not be able to do that longer than a couple of seconds, Anna.
No, mine would be, I'd have a hard time with the empty Stein probably.
And those gentlemen looking quite relaxed there, and I think that went on for quite a long time, and I'm so sorry to tell you, everybody's on the edge of their seats now. Who's going to win? And I can't tell you, actually, but what I can tell you is it was a lot of fun. There was good competition, and it's been dollar beer night here at FC Tulsa. And there's one who, well, we're down to 2. There we go. So it's between those 2. Everybody around the world watching on ESPN Plus and Cox Your View, you will have to wait. We'll try to confirm who won that competition. What I can tell you is We've got a great game. Marcus Epps is getting some attention there, the former FC Tulsa player in the Hartford Athletic side now with Patrick Segrist there. Bradley Bourgeois, who is just, quite frankly, a very, very popular player and man around these parts. I think Marcus Epps has gone off and there has been a substitution for Hartford Athletic, and Kyle Edwards has come into the fray. So an enforced substitution, and we're underway. I guess, Anna, the answer to this question for you is, you know, keep playing the way you are. But both of these teams, they won't want to change too much at the moment, will they?
No, I mean, they're creating chances and they're getting numbers in and around the box, but I think, as we've talked about, just being able to be clinical in front of goal, and Owen Dom with some space here.
Dom into the box, it's a low ball in, didn't reach anybody in an FC Tulsa shirt. Now there's a ball banged up the field, Sawahi cushions it back to Johan Peñaranda, who takes a touch and then sensibly rolls it out to Bradley Bourgeois, who brings in Alexis Sawahi. Sawahi, who unfortunately scored the own goal. Sawahi himself, he does have 3 goals for FC Tulsa. Scored a brace in the 3-3 draw at New Mexico United.
And Dave, going back to that last sequence with Owen Dom, that's kind of been the difference, is that final pass, that final shot for FC Tulsa.
Now Bibu to Batash, shot from Dom was on its way and it hit the defender. And that was gone away for a Katrina Freshmax corner kick.
And again, in those moments, can you execute well defended from Hartford Athletic to throw their bodies in front of that quick short corner here?
Yeah, into the box, and the goalkeeper catches that one. And this game is really hotting up now with both of these teams needing to win this game. We've got half an hour left. Here's Barrera. Edwards. Barrera. Push from Batash there in the midfield on the number 6 Makangila, who was the man who got in the way of that latest Owen Dom shot. Long ball again out towards the Hartford Athletic left, but Harvey Sinclair heads it in field. Gets it from Sawahi. Sawahi up towards Aaron Bibu. Falls to Samadia. Diallo. Segrist. He gave Segrist an awful lot to do there. Diallo just didn't get the angle of his pass right.
No, and that's where in those finer moments the details matter so much, and just not able to connect. You saw the idea was there, and Segrist will try to connect again here with Diallo.
Diallo could try and win a corner. That's going to go through to the goalkeeper Ribeiro. Bill Knight Ford is a proud sponsor of FC Tulsa. Bill Knight Ford is Oklahoma's #1 Ford dealer for 15 years running. Stop by today and get your hands on your new Ford today. Bill Knight, home of the Knight Advantage. We should add that if Hartford Athletic were to get a point, it wouldn't be disastrous, but obviously 3 would be the order of the day. They would still have 2 more games, as we told you about in the race to the playoffs presented by Terminix. Still going to play Tampa Bay and Orange County. Orange County themselves looking for a playoff place in FC Tulsa's conference. That one hit Bourgeois. Now Sawahi finds Batash. He's had a very good game for FC Tulsa tonight. Brings in Alex Deleu. Deleu goes down. Free kick to FC Tulsa in what I suggest, Anna, is a dangerous position. And someone like Faisal Batash could put in a decent ball, or Alex Deleu into the danger area.
We've seen Alexi Sawahi score on moments like this with his head, Aaron Beboot. And it'll be interesting to see as well the knockdown, that first ball out. If it's not on frame, who can get to the knockdown first? And this is a key opportunity for FC Tulsa here, needing to take advantage of these set piece plays.
Two-man wall. Barrera and Engalina. Batash and DeLu standing over this one. Referee blows the whistle. Everybody back for Hartford Athletic inside their own box. Here's the ball into the box. It's going to come to Aaron Beboot, but that's a fine header away by Joe Farrell. Beboot now acting as left winger into the box. Alex DeLu. Batash. Batash will curl one! And it wasn't that far away. Faisal Batash had a shot in the first half, Anna. There's one in the second. And he curls that one just wide of the target.
Beboot did well to keep that play alive, and Batash, you're right, just missed in the first half, going slightly over and there, slightly wide, as FC Tulsa trying to make something out of that play in a near miss opportunity.
Segrist is there with Edwards. Dunn just touched that ball forward, but it goes through to Henan Hibero. Hibero, Farrell and Jang were all in the team of the week for week 28, and the goalkeeper Hibero was the player of the week. It was a good week for Hartford Athletic Football Club. Here's Samadia. Hibero. Farrell gets it back from De Shields. 1-1 the score. 65 minutes gone. A little bit of frustration from Farrell there. Has to go back to his goalkeeper. Temperature drops here on the Saturday evening at One Oak Field. Segrist heads it away. Been a very sporting game. There's been nobody diving into tackles or the fouls have been just minor ones really. It's been a good game, Anna, to watch, and the players playing it in the right attitude as well.
Yeah, it's been a good competitive game as we knew it would be, but nothing malicious, going strong into tackles and high intensity play.
You know, I know you can look back on if-onlys, and talking about FC Tulsa's season, I was talking to Coach Mario Sanchez, and he was talking to me about and reminding me about the record that they've had. We'll come back to it in just a moment. As the ball goes out to the left-hand side. Now there's a strong run into the box. Ball out to that left, low ball into the box, and there's Johan Peñaranda, and he was telling me, you know, about the record against the top sides, and it's a good point he makes, because against New Mexico, who've won the league, as Beboot tries a shot from a long way out, Anna, they go to New Mexico and draw 3-3, and then at home they're drawn 1-1, so they haven't lost to the top side.
No, and in some cases that can kind of be frustrating for a team that's been in those situations, because you know what you're capable of, and you know that you can play at that high level against those elite teams and against those top teams. And so that's something that this FC Tulsa team has just continued to try to find, in some consistency when they're at home, on the road, and try to put all the pieces together, full 90 minutes back to back to back, because you're right, they've had some really strong performances, but have also lost some that they feel like they should have gotten some more points out of, and it's put them in a tough position now, fighting for a playoff spot and needing some help as well.
Yeah, 2 draws against New Mexico first. Las Vegas Lights are in second. FC Tulsa won on the opening day of the season, 3-1 in Vegas, and then home here at One Oak Field back in the middle of September. That was a 1-1 draw. Sacramento Republic are in third. They've had 2 draws against them, and so on and so on and so on. So as you say, there's been some frustrating results. There's an injury to Sebastian Sanchez. He's getting some attention there. Now, we promised to bring you the result, and there he is. That gentleman there, he's got his cap on backwards, but we'll forgive him. He's won the competition there, a very sporting competition, those three there, and I think they had a little sip of beer together. So congratulations. The world was waiting, Anna Bergel, for
on
those
the edge of our seats.
10 minutes. But it's been a fun night here at One Oak Field. Every game here at One Oak Field is fun. There's always something going on, and we are thankful to see that Sebastian Sanchez is okay, but he is going to come off, and Andrew Booth is coming on. Unusual for Andrew Booth to be on the bench. Quality player signed from the Miami FC, and he will come on, and that'll be a like-for-like swap, although you might argue that Booth might be a little bit more attacking.
And that's where FC Tulsa, the depth that they've had, they've struggled with some injuries throughout the season, and players have had to step up in those moments, but Andrew Booth, a strong player coming off the bench, has had some really good games since joining FC Tulsa, and could definitely be an asset here for the home side to possibly find that next goal.
All pumped up towards Johan Peñaranda. We're playing with the Select ball, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. 1-1 the score. What each team would give now for a winning goal. Biebert's in the thick of things here. There's a header away. Edwards is there. Diallo's there. Segrist now playing the ball into the box. It goes over the top of Biebert. Cleared away by Samadia. Andrew Booth gets there for FC Tulsa to Alex Delou. Delou down the line to Batash. Batash chips a ball to the far post. Headed out for a corner. Good build-up from FC Tulsa. And now they have a Katrina Freshmax corner kick to put Hartford Athletic under a bit of pressure.
Batash with a dangerous ball into that back post, and Bibu applying just enough pressure to force a header out. Thought about the short corner there.
Alex Delou from West Bloomfield, Michigan, holds the right arm aloft, plays it towards Bradley Bouchois, comes back to Delou. Delou, good ball, back into the box. There's a strong header away from Galina. Then there's a shot from Batash, charge down. Aaron Bibu to Batash. Batash now inside the area, chips the ball in, looking for Diallo. And Diallo and Edwards clash. And I think the referee said there's a head injury there. And both players will need some attention. And that is just one of those very unfortunate clashes of heads. And there is some concern here, Anna, for the two players. Christina West on for FC Tulsa, and there is some concern here. We did have, this is a bit like deja vu, we did have a very unfortunate injury to a New Mexico player last week inside the same area, which around about a 20-minute delay, and we wish him all the best in his recovery, which we understand has been pretty successful so far with a first surgery. It was a dislocated knee, so we understand. Anna, if you're both coaches now looking on, you know it's a must-win game, there's 18 minutes to go. Do you approach any differently, or do you just keep going as you are?
I mean, I think if I'm a player, there've been some good moments of rhythm that they've been able to get in and around the 18-yard box. Now you're just looking for someone to take over this game, really, from kind of an individual perspective. Who's going to step up and take that shot and find a way to execute in the final third, because both teams have had quality delivery, they've had good chances, they've had good spells of possession, but now with the game at a deadlock, you're really looking for someone to maybe have a moment of individual brilliance. I don't know, tactically you might be able to throw on some more attacking-minded players, or maybe push numbers higher. And from an FC Tulsa standpoint, at this point, leaving yourself a bit exposed in the back is something that you might have to do to get more numbers going forward and find that next goal, because you're now Hartford Athletic, as you mentioned, Dave. The tie helps them, but they still have some chances there to control their own destiny. FC Tulsa in a little bit of a different scenario, and they need to go all out for it, as we get a look at some of the fans here still enjoying tonight's game.
Young and old enjoying this one. They bring them young here at One Oak Field. And applause you might hear in the background is for the Hartford Athletic player and for Boubacar Diallo, who are both onto their feet, although Diallo may be being helped off the field here. The two number 6s sportingly with each other, Mac and Gila there with Boubacar Diallo, and it was Edwards, and they both shake hands, and that's a very, very good sign. But I think because of the concussion protocols, we're going to see Matthew Bell coming on for FC Tulsa, and Yunus Boudadi coming on for Hartford Athletic. Michael De Shields has been withdrawn. There he is. Yunus Boudadi, the Moroccan, born in Belgium, 17 starts, 3 assists, signed from Indy 11. And Matthew Bell, the 22-year-old acquired on loan from Real Salt Lake. So enforced changes here late on, with 16 minutes to go, plus of course the board for that fairly long stoppage. Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa is your place for fun and entertainment after the match. Enjoy a world-class casino experience with high-stakes tables and over 1,600 electronic games. Just 4 miles from One Oak Field, Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa. 1-1 the score. Both goals 14 minutes apart in that first half. The penalty for FC Tulsa from Stojanovic, the own goal from FC Tulsa's Alexis Sawahi after good work down the left from Engelina. The summary of the goals. Ball headed down by Engelina. Harvey Sinclair put an arm on the shoulder. The referee said it wasn't enough for any kind of foul. Harvey Sinclair. Good turn from Faisal Batash, who was brought down by Makangila. We're going to have to restart here, and the referee's blowing the whistle, and I think there may have been a little bit of dissent that he wants to talk to Faisal Batash about. Batash and Hairston there having a little talking to by the referee. Game delicately poised with the free kick here. Referee just talking to the fourth official, Tim Wagner. Not quite sure what all of that is about. Maybe something said. Looking over there, if my eyes don't deceive, Diogo Pacheco, who's another attacking threat, Anna, that might well be thrown on for the last 15 or so minutes. Here's Harvey Sinclair. That one is out. It's going to be a goal kick. Pacheco could well come in.
And Pacheco, I mean, 4 goals on the season for FC Tulsa, and FC Tulsa now at this point in the game will need to change the narrative of their season. After the 75th minute, they've only had 1 goal scored. So that's throughout the whole season at home. So that's something that they'll have to change, find some creativity going forward, get B-Boot more involved. But you're right, there's still some firepower on the bench that FC Tulsa can bring on to change things up if needed. And now with the clock continuing to tick down, still some time left, but Mario Sanchez will be thoughtful, try to put the best personnel on the field to keep their playoff hopes alive.
But it's Hartford Athletic in control of the ball at the moment. Ribeiro goes wide to the left-hand side to the lively Samadia. There's an offside flag up. FC Tulsa have a free kick. I'm sure the crowd are aware of what's at stake here in this last 12 minutes. Jordan Scarlett, the captain, goes back to his Brazilian goalkeeper Ribeiro. Macangila lays it off to Scarlett again. Ball loose in the midfield. Comes to Danny Barrera. Barrera to Edwards. Edwards could try a shot. Good block from Segrist. And then Owen Darm strong enough to win that ball, and then the referee says it's all deemed fair. Edwards has the ball, and thankfully he's okay from that head clash as well. I think Boubacar Diallo got the worst of that head clash. Hairston out wide to Samadia. Hairston. Samadia did well. Sawahi heads away. Ball chipped to the far side. Budadi heads in field. It's loose, there's a chance! And there's a save from Peñaranda, and the flag's gone up. And Hartford Athletic have scored a goal. It may have been untidy, but it may well have been the game winner here for Hartford Athletic. FC Tulsa now have to score 2 goals in the next 10 minutes. We'll get the replay. FC Tulsa 1, Hartford Athletic 2.
A bit of chaos in the box there as Edwards with the initial shot. Peñaranda tries to make a save, but you saw that ball roll over the line, and Edwards might be the difference maker here, as I imagine the watch party at the XL Center Sports Bar is going crazy at this point. Only 10 minutes left here, and Hartford Athletic will try to hang on to this 3 points, and FC Tulsa really needing a sense of urgency now and a quick response.
Well, it's slightly bizarre, that goal, Anna, because Peñaranda looked to have got a hand on it, and then I think it was 2 FC Tulsa players that clashed on the line that may well have taken it over the line. It's just so unfortunate, and now Hartford Athletic visibly retreating and saying to FC Tulsa, you come at us. That could be a priceless goal for Hartford Athletic. FC Tulsa now need 2 goals, not 1, they need 2. They have to win the game of football. Matthew Bell on as a second half sub, into the box, did not reach Bibu. Barrera. Engalina, who's been a thorn in the FC Tulsa side all night long. And he's going for a third here. He's onside. It could be 3. He hits the bar. Well, that would have killed the game off. And now here's a look at the goal. We've got a different angle here. Peñaranda makes the save, and I think that is Harvey Sinclair and Alexis Sawahi just clashing on the line. Diogo Pacheco has come on for Owen Darm in an attacking move. There's Owen Darm and Stojanovic. And Pacheco could be a hero if he can score 2 goals. He has done a brace. Scored the brace in the 2-1 home win over San Antonio on June the 8th. So he can score goals coming in from that left-hand side. Here's Delou. Delou, low ball into the box! And Pacheco was a yard away, and that's outstanding defending from Budadi. Still FC Tulsa with Delou again into the box. Hits the defender, who clears away. Stooping header from Sawahi. But Pacheco was a yard away from scoring with his first touch.
This was a really good ball in from Delu. Well defended. Pacheco on the wrong side of the defender there, trying to get in front. But great awareness and recovery from Hartford Athletic to clear that one away.
Tulsa Spine and Rehab, a team of specialists in one place, delivering lasting pain relief. Andrew Booth. Bradley Bourgeois. No one will hurt more if FC Tulsa cannot score 2 goals than Bradley Bourgeois. Now, Segrist has forced a corner. There is still time for FC Tulsa in their pursuit of the race to the playoffs, presented by Terminex. Delu with the Katrina Freshmax corner. 7 minutes plus the board left here, which could be FC Tulsa's last go at the playoff place. Ball flicked on. Bibu's got some chasing on the right-hand side. Up against Farrell. Batash has won it. Sinclair will try to dump it into the box. So why he's still there? Anywhere will do. Now the ball comes out to the left-hand side. Alex Delu, urgency from FC Tulsa now. Matthew Bell, round 1, into the box. Round 2, shoots straight at the goalkeeper. Bell did all the hard work, but the shot, Anna, just too straight at the goalkeeper.
Great footwork. You saw going right at the defender, keeps the ball close to his feet, finds that half a yard chance, but again, needs to find a corner there. Just not enough on it or away to challenge goalkeeper there in that moment, but good spark. Needing more from FC Tulsa here in these last few minutes as the attacking-minded players now on the field. Pacheco coming on, Bibu trying to get in the mix.
Batash seemed to be pulled, but his referees let it go on. Segrist, early ball, another corner for FC Tulsa. Katrina Freshmax corner to be taken again by Alex Delu, and now everybody apart from Johan Peñaranda being roared on by the crowd. They've gone short to Batash. Batash, Delu can hit one, hits the defender. Now Harvey Sinclair can hit one. It hits another defender, Edwards. Spins away for another Katrina Freshmax corner kick. FC Tulsa are giving this everything they've got here. You just feel that they need to get this first goal quickly, and a draw, to remind everybody, is no good for FC Tulsa if they want to keep their playoff places alive. Here's the ball into the area, palmed away, back in from Harvey Sinclair. Delu, clever from him. Booth hits the defender, goes away for another corner.
The defending, the effort from Hartford Athletic to keep this ball out of the back of the net and preserve what could be the 3 points here.
Here's Delu into the danger area as another header away from Jang is back there. Harvey Sinclair. Segrist, last man. Batash, first time ball into the box. Pacheco into the side netting. It was a really decent ball from Batash, and it hits the side netting.
Good effort, good run from Pacheco on that far post, but needing to bring that ball back across goal, possibly. That would have been a tough angle. Good delivery in. It was tough on the bounce. But now Hartford Athletic will take their sweet time as they try to see this game out.
Thomas Van Kierseel is coming on for Danny Pereira. As we can say, the USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Galazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Ball goes back to Johan Peñaranda. Now Bradley Bourgeois slides it up to Matthew Bell. Segrist working very hard to get on the overlap on the left-hand side. Given away. Jang Engelina, bad first touch. Harvey Sinclair quickly shut that. Good feet from Harvey Sinclair, and then he gives it away, then wins it back again. And now there's a foul by Batash, and that could be the Pele yellow card for Faisal Batash, the only yellow card of the game. Batash has had a good game. Well, that's an easy one for the referee to give, Anna Bogle.
It is, and that could be just a bit of frustration from FC Tulsa late in this game, and you don't want to do that. Don't want to break up play or slow things down. That's exactly what Hartford Athletic wants, is they'll be thoughtful about game management here and not giving anything away, trying to keep possession. Still some time left, but at some point you'll see them likely go into the corner, not take any risks, and stay strong defensively as FC Tulsa will try to break through, still needing 2 goals in these final few minutes to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, the last time FC Tulsa scored 3 goals was in the dramatic 3-3 draw at Mexico United in the middle of August. So they're going to have to do something they haven't done for over 2 months, and that is to score 3 goals. They're giving everything they've got here. Bibu chests it down. There's a very fine header there from Jordan Scarlett. FC Tulsa have some time. We're hearing there could be quite a sizable number of minutes to be added on at the end of this game. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team and play as your favourite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Well, thanks for your company here on ESPN Plus, Cox Channel 3 and Cox Your View. Dave Saunders, Anna Burgle with you, guiding you through this one here on this Saturday night. Earlier kickoff, 5 p.m. kickoff local time, in a game that both teams need to win. And in the race for the championship, sponsored by Terminix, FC Tulsa are doing that now. Pacheco lays it off. Siegrist didn't quite lay it off rightly there. DeLu plays it out wide to Sinclair. FC Tulsa throwing the kitchen sink now at this Hartford Athletic defence, but Engelina comes out with the ball. Throw in. Just didn't lay it off properly there, Anna.
No, you heard the reaction from the crowd. Killed the play. Great run, overlapping from Siegrist. The right idea, but again, that final pass lets FC Tulsa down in a potentially big moment, but still some time left.
Ball dumped into the box, headed away. The Hartford defence have just been on the end of every cross that's come in. Remember, FC Tulsa have one more game next Saturday against Monterey Bay, which would just be what we call a nothing game in inverted commas if they cannot score 2 goals here. They want to have something on that game next week. Hartford Athletic still to play Tampa Bay Rowdies as Siegrist goes forward, and Orange County. There's Bell with a shot, and a good save from the goalkeeper who got right behind that, Henan Hibero. But Bell not afraid to go for it, and that's what FC Tulsa have to do now.
They need more of that, and Pacheco and Siegrist, great combination play between those two, the creativity. That's what FC Tulsa has needed more of in this game in the final third, and Bell with a great strike, but Hibero has made those routine saves and has had a solid game, only beaten by that penalty kick.
Hartford Athletic in the live standings now up to 9th, 2 points behind Pittsburgh, who are winning by 2-0 themselves against Birmingham Legion, who would go down to 10th. Birmingham Legion, playing Indy 11. That one at half-time, 2-0. So still much on the line in the USL Championship race to the playoffs, presented by Terminix. Throw in, Diogo Pacheco, short to Siegrist, into the box. It hits the defender. Sawahi heads it back towards goal. And again, a good catch by the goalkeeper, Hibero. Sawahi would dearly love to score a goal, having scored the first one in his own net tonight, but ultimately he was involved with a scramble on the line as well with Harvey Sinclair that gave Hartford Athletic their second goal of the night, and they lead it by 2-1. We're playing 10 minutes of Tulsa Tech stoppage time, so still time for FC Tulsa. 7 minutes to go. As we said, a draw wouldn't be disastrous, but we just heard the live standings for Hartford Athletic. They want to hold on to this and win this game and give themselves a chance. 3 points. Here's Bell. Bell's given that away to Edwards, who dumps it down the field. Bradley Bouchois coming forward. There are 2 blocks of 4 for FC Tulsa to get through. Pacheco heads in field. Bell's in the area, belted away though. Back in from Sawahi. And now there's a sprint on for Jang, who's quick. And a good nudge there from Sawahi, or Jang would have been in, Anna, but still FC Tulsa just want the ball to fall to someone in the box.
And FC Tulsa needing to keep possession, needing to get numbers forward again, and they leave themselves a bit exposed in the back, as you just saw that Jang trying to break through, but that's a risk they're willing to, and needing to take at this point, as you see Ribeiro being mindful there, just trying to shave off any additional seconds. And now it looks like we might have a player down around the midfield circle.
Yeah, more delay here. Trying to see who that is down there. And it's Jang, who's worked really hard, and I think it's some cramp. He's a quick player up there, and there'll be a substitution. And we're going to see the introduction of Tristan Hodge, who is Trinidad and Tobago international, experienced player. Coming on here, 9 caps for his country. Good player to bring on at this time to see this out for Hartford Athletic, who lead this by 2-1. And now the referee, Sir Garcia, wants the ball back to the goalkeeper. FC Tulsa's playoff aspirations hanging by a thread. As I said, they have one more game next Saturday here at One Oak Field. And you look at the schedule, Anna, it looked pretty good on paper. 3 of the last 4 games at home. But sometimes things don't pan out, you know, as they do on paper.
No, and that's something that's, you know, from an FC Tulsa perspective, hasn't been ideal if they're not able to find these next 2 goals, but it's made the USL fun to watch.
Here's the ball into the box. Sinclair's on the far post. That's going to come off Angelina, and that's going to be a Katrina Freshmax corner for FC Tulsa. And now Johan Peñaranda comes up to at least the halfway line. It's nearly time for him to come into the box. Here's the ball into the box. It's going to fall here for Bell. Bell, good trickery from him. He goes down. No foul, says the referee. And now Hartford Athletic break with Angelina, who can take some time out of the game here. And good intelligent play. Hodge dumps it forward, but that'll be to Johan Peñaranda, who rolls it out now to Sawahi. Sawahi now bringing the ball over the halfway line to Segrist. He's wide on the left-hand side. Segrist goes route 1 into the box to Bibut, and Bibut was pushing the defender, Scarlett. And it'll be a free kick to Hartford Athletic. More frustration for the home fans, Anna Bergel.
Yeah, and the players, as you can tell, and it looks like there might have been a yellow card issued to Matthew Bell there. But here's a look at the replay. You see Bibut. Fans didn't like the call, but Scarlett goes down there in the box. Referee makes the call, and it was Matthew Bell. Might have been for something that he'd said on that last play, potentially goes into the book.
Yeah, Pele yellow card for Matthew Bell for dissent. Time running out for FC Tulsa now. The graphic there, you can see the clock at the top next to the score says 98. We think there'll be a couple more than that because there's been some stoppages. Pacheco heads the ball on. Hodge is back there to clear the danger. FC Tulsa have a throw in. Harvey Sinclair. Johan Peñaranda, the goalkeeper, runs up to the halfway line. FC Tulsa throwing everybody forward. Harvey Sinclair, left-footed ball, clipped into the box. Who's underneath this one? Segrist, Bell. Bell goes between two. Good play from Matthew Bell. And he's won a corner. That's good play from Matthew Bell. FC Tulsa need this to go in. If they're to score this 2 goals, it would be dramatic now if they were to score 2. But they have a chance. Alex DeLu from the Katrina Freshmax corner. Here's the ball to the far post. B-Boots there, heads it back, but Tash hits it. And it was a good block from the number 6, Makangila. Johan Peñaranda a mile out of his goal. He's in the centre circle. Alex DeLu. DeLu into the box. There's a header away, and it's going to go away again for a corner. Well, you've got to credit FC Tulsa. Bradley Bourgeois takes it short here to Alex DeLu. DeLu goes to the byline. DeLu into the box. It's going to go all the way over. Patash has got to work hard to keep this in, and he does. Can he dump it back into the box here? Players queuing up. B-Boots there. The goalkeeper comes out, and it's going to be another Katrina Freshmax corner.
The pressure applied from FC Tulsa here, but Hartford Athletic not breaking defensively, and DeLu will need another good delivery into the box. Peñaranda now in the box for FC Tulsa.
Here's the ball. It would be dramatic now. That's over everybody, and B-Boot's got a chase on. He does well. B-Boot, that hits the defender, goes away for a throw-in. B-Boot wants the ball. He takes the throw-in quickly. Batash, Segrist. We've played the 10 minutes. DeLu into box, flicked header, goalkeeper save. More frustration for the home side.
Smart goalkeeping. Ribeiro drops down to his knees, falls on that ball to try to shave a few extra seconds off here, as that header from Pacheco not enough to beat him, as Hartford Athletics survives that flurry of activity in corners.
FC Tulsa need the ball back. Edwards dumps it forward. Peñaranda's underneath that one, and the referee brings the game to an end, and Hartford Athletic keep their race to the playoffs, sponsored by Terminix Alive. FC Tulsa are officially now eliminated from the playoffs. They will have one more game against Monterey Bay next Saturday. Monterey Bay also out of the playoffs, and that's what it means. Suwahi unfortunately putting through his own net. Anna, that is the game of football for you right there.
And you can't fault the effort of the late surge from FC Tulsa, but credit this Hartford Athletic defense, bending but not breaking in those final few minutes, and able to preserve the 3 points on the road against FC Tulsa. And the players' reactions, they put so much into this game. Batash had a really good game. There's some good play. Stojanovic converting the early penalty kick, but just not able to extend the lead.
Aaron B-Boot gave his all today. It wasn't his day for a spectacular goal. Mario Sanchez will reflect on the game, and he made the changes. He threw every attacking player at his disposal on, and it just wasn't to be today, was it?
No, it wasn't. And I mean, those players that came on made a difference. Matthew Bell came on, did a great job, found a way to create chances for FC Tulsa, but again, just couldn't get it done. As you see Bourgeois there with the former FC Tulsa player Marcus Epps, longtime history, as Bourgeois has been with FC Tulsa for so long. Marcus Epps, kind of a fan favorite as he shakes hands with Mario Sanchez. But not FC Tulsa's night tonight, but Hartford Athletic, as you mentioned, Dave, still with their playoff hopes alive as they did what they needed to do coming in to One Oak Field tonight.
Tell you what, lots more to wrap this up after the break, but it's finished here. FC Tulsa 1, Hartford Athletic 2.
Summertime is back at Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, and we have the perfect getaway for you. Cool off in our spacious freeform pool. Grab your favorite drink and chill at the poolside bar. Or relax and unwind in a cozy private cabana. Just steps away are tempting restaurants, live entertainment, and a world-class casino gaming experience. At Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, your place to stay and relax.
At Ascension St. John, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare in Oklahoma. For movement disorders, spine care, and more, our brain and spine specialists lead in coordinating advanced care. Patients choose us for advanced heart care and personalized cancer care. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
The experience to adapt, learn, and grow defines Williams. We've delivered natural gas to power change for over a century. Now we're investing in next-gen technologies to move toward a low-carbon future. We can reduce emissions and meet rising energy demands because experience powers us.
Welcome back into One Oak Field. Disappointment if you're an FC Tulsa fan, but you will be hugely elated with if you are a Hartford Athletic fan with this win, a 2-1 win which keeps their race to the playoffs sponsored by Terminix alive. And let's get into the highlights, Anna Bergel, and FC Tulsa did throw it at the away side.
They did in the second half after scoring a penalty kick in the first half, trying to extend their lead, and this was kind of the story throughout the second half for FC Tulsa. They had chances, they were in and around the 18-yard box with a sense of urgency, trying to find those 3 points to keep their playoff hopes alive, but it just never fully came to fruition. Mario Sanchez bringing in some attacking-minded players in the second half to try to make that happen. Batach had a good game, had some moments for FC Tulsa, but just didn't happen. In Hartford Athletic, the substitute Kyle Edwards able to come on. Peñaranda trying to make a save there, a bit chaotic in the box, but that ball rolls over the line, gets knocked in, however you want to call it, becomes a goal for Hartford Athletic, and that ultimately will go on to be the game winner. And the FC Tulsa late surge was just not enough, Dave, for them to get back in this game.
No, it wasn't, and it finished 2-1 to Hartford Athletic. As we have a look at the full match stats, 16 shots to 21 on target. FC Tulsa twice as many as their opponents, but alas, still losing the game by 2-1.
And the possession for FC Tulsa improved in the second half as they found more of the ball. They were able to get more shots on target in that second half, which was likely an emphasis after not as many in the first half. But Hartford Athletic defensively held strong. They played really well in a tough environment here at One Oak Field and knew what they needed to do to keep their season hopes alive, able to come in and get those 2 goals, and now looking ahead towards their next game to try to secure a playoff spot.
Let's have a look at the schedules. FC Tulsa will play one last game, which will be against Monterey Bay. Both teams are now out of the playoff race. As for the visitors, Hartford Athletic, a little bit more important for them. They've got to win these 2 games and they're in. And they're playing at Orange County, and they've also got to play Tampa Bay Rowdies. So good luck to them, and good luck to everybody who is still involved in the race to get a playoff place. We're hoping to speak to Coach Mario Sanchez in a moment to reflect on the season. But Anna, again, story of the game, FC Tulsa got the perfect start, but just weren't able to get that winner, and then to concede the goal. We'll talk to Coach Mario Sanchez now and get his thoughts. But that second goal for Hartford Athletic, ultimately the winner. Coach, thanks for joining us as always. Your reflection on the 90 minutes today, please.
You know, it kind of went the way I thought it'd go. Obviously, they need points. We need points. You know, and it was a great start. You know, we get the goal, and then, you know, just a little bit disappointed in the sense of you know, preparation-wise, scouting-wise, we knew how are they going to play. We knew about their wingers, and to get caught on that first goal, that was tough because you go in at halftime 1-0, and, you know, you can build a lot from that, and they have to chase it, and then for them to get that goal was unfortunate. And then, you know, obviously we have to throw everything forward the whole entire second half. And, you know, it's funny because, you know, there's some games we don't create enough, and we certainly created plenty of opportunities tonight, and still, you know, can't find a way to get the ball in the net. And, you know, ultimately when you look at the season, that's been our downfall, is, you know, we just don't score enough goals.
Coach, you can't fault the effort from your side tonight. Can you talk a little bit? I know one more game still left to play, but how's your experience been with this squad and just this FC Tulsa team as your first year as head coach?
You can see. I mean, the guys, like you said, they work really, really hard. I mean, to the end. I mean, they're giving everything they can, and you know, we knew we had to win, and it was a long shot, and so I give the guys a lot of credit for literally to the last kick of the game putting everything into it. And they're a good group of guys, and we just need, you know, to learn and, you know, a little more experience. You know, we're young, you know, when you compare us to the majority of the USL Championship. So, you know, we get ready for, like we do this next game. Everything stays the same. We got to finish, you know, with a win, and then we, you know, reflect and grow and learn.
Coach Sanchez, thank you as always for joining us. Hard luck tonight, and well done on the season. And of course, as you say, one more game to look forward to here at One Oak Field next Saturday. We'll see you then.
Thank you for everything you guys have done.
Thank you there to Coach Mario Sanchez. Anna Bergel, just on Coach Sanchez, I mean, he is a man that just keeps a positivity going, win, lose or draw. Obviously, he would love to be, everybody wants to be in the playoffs, but he is a very, very positive coach and a very positive person who's been wonderful for this football club.
He is a positive person, but it's also been great to hear him throughout the season because he's not shy to say what has gone wrong or the places that they need to improve, and has done a good job bringing in players, trying to change the mix in his first season as head coach, and the players play for him. You can tell they work hard for Mario Sanchez and have enjoyed playing under his leadership, and excited to see what happens with the future for FC Tulsa with Mario.
Anna Bergel, thank you so much for your expertise this afternoon. Thank you so much to Blake and the crew who provide the sights and sounds. Stojanovic got the goal from the penalty spot, and it all looked good for FC Tulsa, but they were pegged back by an own goal here from Alexis Sawahi, and alas, they got a winner, did Hartford Athletic. All the best to them in their last two games. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. We'll see you all again for one more game next week against Monterey Bay. It finished here, FC Tulsa 1, Hartford Athletic 2.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
immediately out to the orange-booted Patrick Segrist. He finds Darm. Darm's been pushed a little bit further forward. Here's Diallo inside the box. Diallo goes down.